my chickadees! Welcome back to my nest. Today we're going to be playing a game that... Oh god. That was a lot of little evil eyes. We're playing a game called Roses Have Thorns. And a lot of evil eyes, apparently. This game just dropped yesterday for the 2024 Yandere Game Jam. And we're just gonna jump on in and check this out. Oh, I just noticed there was blood on the leaves too when that happens. Oh, look at the cursor. It's a little rose as well. That's really cute. Oh my god. Yeah, there's blood. Okay, we are gonna jump on in. Let's see. Okay, they don't have any warnings, so I'm gonna read the warnings from the page. Content warnings: stalking, murder, animal abuse, non-consensual kissing, blood, death, sexual innuendos, but nothing explicit. So if any of that bothers you, please click away. I'm personally not really happy about the animal abuse, but you know, hopefully it's not anything bad. So we're gonna jump on in and check this out. Right away we see a lovely background of like a winter forest. That's really nice. The snow fell from the sky like elegant white ballerinas, while its icy touch caressed my skin. I couldn't remember the last time I'd been so high up in the Forbidden Alps, or the last time I just rested alongside a tree and appreciate the breathtaking view of the mountains. I used to bring my sketchbook along to study the wildlife, failing miserably to capture their beauty while sipping on some nice warm tea and relaxed in the embrace of my warm, thick woolen coats. It all seemed like a dream now, a dream that is becoming fainter and fainter as the years tread on. I couldn't have stopped then, not when I had too much to lose, too many people to please, and too many things to see before my early grave. Despite how clear and majestic the snow looked, it had the ability to kill, and I didn't want to become its next victim. Yeah, you can't really stop and, relax while you're stuck in a snowstorm. That ain't gonna bode well. Not yet, at least. The mountains seemed to have stretched on for thousands of miles, inhabiting the same old trees, rocks, and occasional skittish rabbit. It had been so long since I'd seen anything that wasn't covered in a heap of cold snow and ice. I wondered how my family was faring. Had they fully recovered from their wounds inflicted by the devilish forest fire? Or had they succumbed to them like mournful sinners? The thought of it sent a chill down my already frozen spine. Okay, so I gather we're traveling. Apparently there was a forest fire and it split us up from our family. And we've been moving for a while. I used to live such an conventional and quaint life in my peaceful little village, where the most eventful thing that ever happened was a street rat stealing the smallest piece of bread from Mrs. Field's bakery. Where all your best friends were people I'd known since birth because there were only one school in the entire village. Where the closest neighbor felt a billion miles away that you'll probably never get to visit. My world was simple, yet peaceful. But everything's just so different now. Being one of the only young, healthy adults that didn't die or become wounded as a result from that wretched fire, it became my responsibility to seek out aid from our neighboring village. Okay, so fire engulfed their town, and because they are a healthy young adult, they were sent out to look for help. Okay. And my nice simple world unraveled before my very eyes. It made me realize that I truly didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, that my life was on the same level as a random squirrel or rabbit. Death truly doesn't judge, and I have avoided him for so long that I feel as though my time could run out at any given moment. So I better use it sparingly. The snow falling from the sky was once calming and considerate, now wore a violent outburst and icy thrill. It started coming down so hard to the point that all I could see before me was pure white. A blizzard was afoot, and I had nowhere to call home. My layers of thick clothes were proved worthless by the sharp winds of my face, and hands felt as though they were about to fall off from frostbite. Was this really how it all would end? My heroic journey of saving my sweet village ending with me being under another unfortunate soul claimed by the Alps? Ugh, how pathetic of me. A little snow and ice and I'm already crumbling under my own weight. Perhaps death has finally lost its patience for our little game and wants to claim its prize. At least one of us should get what they want. Ooh, a light? But then I saw it, a bright yellow light in the distance, like a guardian angel that felt so far away, yet you knew they were there watching over you. Where there's a light, there's a house, a refuge from the storm. Perhaps death will not get in his way after all today. Despite my frozen body being on the edge of shattering into a million pieces, I braved on towards the distant light, hoping that the angel continued waiting for me. So close. So close. I can't give up on them. They're waiting for me. My friends, my family, all of them. I'm tired of my life being nothing more than an insignificant plaything for the gods above. I will save them, even if it kills me. Just don't kill me yet. Almost. There. Well, I don't think we made it. We passed out. What happened? We, collapsed in a snowstorm. Ooh, fire! Beside me sat a brewing fire. The sight of its magnificent flames dancing around in their warm red aura assured me that I was safe from the storm outside. It was, however, puzzled me as I sat in a large, comfortable chair covered with what appeared to be an animal fur blanket. As I looked around my strange new location, I realized I was in a chateau, for it had tall gray walls of stone and a ceiling as high as the heavens with intricate stained glass windows. Whoever lived here must have quite the pretty penny. It's bigger than all the houses in my village combined. And that's just out in the middle of the woods. As much as I hate to unravel this wonderful blanket, I must figure out where I am at once, and perhaps thank my savior while I'm at it. As I stood up from the chair, a sudden spear of pain jolted my arms and legs, sending a quiet yet anguished yelp from my lips. The frostbite must have had a feast on my body. With a limping leg and shivering hands, I invited myself into the long hallway of the chateau. It was so long that it would have taken me days to find the bathroom in that place. But it still didn't give me any answers to where I was, and who this place belonged to. Oh! Wow, this is fancy. Dang. Oh, it's so dark in here. Would it kill them to put up a few candles? This place is so massive, yet it feels so small at the same time. I can't imagine anyone calling this place a home. Hello? Is anyone here? Hello? Gosh, where is everyone? Meow. It's a kitty. Look at the little black kitty. It's so cute. Oh, well, aren't you the cutest little thing I've ever seen? May I pet you, precious? Meow. I know they say black cats bring bad luck, but who would say that when you have a precious face like that? You deserve all the scritchies. And you're just a little kitten. Where's your mama? Meow. Meow, meow. I think she wants me to follow her? Okay. Okay. Save. Oh, it's little hearts that pop up. Follow the kitten, keep exploring. We're gonna keep exploring for now. No, I'm sure I'm overthinking it. I should leave the little kitten be. Meow. With a final pat to the cat's head, I made my way further down the enormous, never-ending hallway. The darkness engulfed everything in its wake and immediately started regretting my earlier decisions. My nerves and senses flooded with uncertainty. It was only when I suddenly bumped into something large and hard that my mind returned from its dreamy journey. As I examined the strange object before me, I noticed its woody texture. I realized it was a door. After a few moments, my eyes finally adjusted to my dark environment, and I was able to see more of the door than before. Ooh, fancy door. Is that the front door? Oh, it's got roses on it. Right there. It had a certain authority to it with its tall stature and handles reminiscent of bright red roses. It was clear that this door led to an important room. A greenhouse? And yet, despite its extravagant design, it was tucked away into the far corners of the chateau. This room didn't want to be entered. I pressed as hard as I could against the door, attempting and failing clumsily to open it. Not even the slightest of movement. Locked. Why am I even doing this? I have no business literally prying into others' lives. Some guess I am. Well, they saved us. They pulled the stranger in out of the snow and left us unattended. I mean, they knew this was going to happen. It's like, if you leave somebody unattended, of course they're going to wander and put their nose in everything. Come on. I should return to the fire and wait there. Ah! For a brief second, my eyes shut with shock. I had walked into something once again. Another door, perhaps? But instead of feeling the aching sensation of a splinter hazard or frozen limbs that I'd gotten so used to feeling, all I felt in that moment was a tender embrace. An embrace that was so soft it felt as though I was the one comforting them instead of the other way around. Hey, what's going on? Forgive me. I did not mean to startle you. Hello! Oh, he's got little pointy ears! He's cute! I was outside, and I couldn't help but hear the sound of footsteps. I'm glad that you're awake. I was worried you were a goner. Before me stood a tall, handsome man, his skin as pale as ice, yet his eyes were warm. He had long, well-kept hair, similar to that of a nobleman, and strange, pointy ears. Was he the owner of the chateau? Footsteps? How could he have possibly heard me if he was all the way outside? I need answers. Well, if he has pointy ears, he probably has special powers too, bud. Sorry for burdening you. Who are you? Oh my, where did my manners run off to? My name is Lord Viktor Oscar Lazarus the Third. But you can just call me Viktor. The man stared at me with curious eyes as if he awaited something. There was a certain longing in his eyes as he hoped the second his name fell from his lips that would have given him some sort of reaction. But once he realized that wasn't the case, his guard dropped only for a mere moment, and I caught a glimpse of his sorrowful expression before returning to a simple smile. Was he hoping we knew him? And you? I wish to know the name of my new companion. What is your name? Sparrow. Sparrow? A beautiful name for a beautiful girl. Alright then, we're a girl? Okay. I thought it was gonna be gender neutral, but apparently we're a girl, guys. Oh. Meow. Oh, hello again, precious. Meow. The cat's eyes brightened when she noticed who I was and playfully walked between my legs, meowing for more pets. I see you've already been acquainted by my pet, Amorous. A pet, huh? I'm guessing you're the owner of this place. I'd love to meet your family. Family? Unfortunately not. Not for many years. It's just Amorous and I against the world here. My apologies for assuming. It's just that your home is quite big. It must get lonely. You don't know the half of it. I'm sorry for walking through these halls without your permission, by the way. I was just curious as to where I was and got a little lost. Oh, I understand. With a house this big, even I get lost. To the point where it feels as though I haven't roamed this side of the residence for years. Perhaps that is a blessing. Viktor observed the door from before, a face mangled by both anger and pain. His teeth gritted slightly, revealing a set of small fangs, and his eyes glowed red. Okay, are you a vampire? Oh, his eyes are red. Look at that. The rose is like as big as his face. There we go. There we go. You a flower man now. His gaze slowly rested on me, the same intense look as if he was angry. Angry at me. But within a few swift seconds, his face returned to normal and he smiled once more. How rude of me. You're a guest and I haven't even offered you a beverage. I'll be making dinner soon and I hope you'll join me. It's been so long since I've had someone to talk to. Oh, look at this fancy room. It was dark outside by the time Viktor had called me for dinner. How many chairs is that? Holy crap. The blizzard had started up again despite taking a break earlier. It was now stronger than ever, and its frightening howls intruding upon the chateau's silence. The dining room was quite large, which was not surprising at this point. The elegant white chairs contrasted well with a raging fireplace, creating a mysterious yet calming aura. It was also way too long for supposedly one person, and I couldn't help but wonder if this place had once been a room full of music, laughter, and happiness. If that had been true, it was now a shell of its former self. Who does all the cleaning? It can't just be you and the cat. You can't clean all this by yourself, can you? Boy, the blizzard really had a vengeance against the Alps. Hope it dies down again soon. My body is still so sore, but I just can't keep lying around like I'm royalty or something. I have a mission to do. At least Viktor doesn't mind me staying here for the time being. It's so nice of him to make me dinner. I'm starving. Sparrow, I'm so glad you decided to join me. Take a seat. Dinner is almost ready. Glad to be here. May I ask what you made? It's an ancient family recipe passed down from generation to generation. I hope you like it. Sounds delicious. I can't wait. Oh no, it's a bunny. Doesn't that smell good? It smells like something. Dead rabbit. Favorite. Oh, darling, are you alright? Your face is so green. Are you getting sick? Is there anything wrong? What do you think is wrong, Viktor? Oh, a knife and a fork, of course. How could I forget? I'll be right back. You literally brought us a whole dead bunny, still leaking blood, so it's definitely not cooked. And you're like, oh, what is wrong? Oh, I forgot a knife and a fork, of course. Meow. Your master is quite the eccentric cook. Cats eat dead rodents, right? Want some? Meow, meow. Translation, what do you take me for? Here you go, knife and fork at your disposal. Thanks. So, Sparrow, I know that it's not any of my business, but I do have to ask. Why were you so far up in the mountain? Especially without any companions. You would have been a goner if I hadn't found you out there in the blizzard earlier. You know, we should just sit here and, like, smile and nod and listen to him and slowly pick up our bunny and go back to the fire and toss it in to cook it. I know, it was pretty reckless of me, but I couldn't afford to lose any more time. You see, my journey serves an important purpose. My village burnt down a couple of months ago, and I already lost so much precious time just traveling through the Alps. I'm not sure what got over me in that moment. I was never one to get emotional, even if the moment called for it. I couldn't stop thinking about them, my family, my friends, everyone I've ever known. The thought of being too late. It made me shed the first tear ever since leaving home. I'm a failure. Look at me, crying like a child. This is so embarrassing. I'm sorry. Victor's eyes immediately darted from his plate to meet my teary eyes. He seemed shocked by my statement, as if it was the biggest lie he ever heard. Cautiously, he moved his chair closer to mine and lightly caressed my hand with his in a soothing manner. That's not true at all. You braved the mountains, probably running into death at every corner, and all by yourself, no less, just to save a few people from a small, insignificant village. Excuse me, that's our village. It's not insignificant. There are people in this world, no matter how powerful and brave they claim to be, that wouldn't dare doing what you did, especially to help others. I won't have you talk about yourself like that again, and I will not tolerate any more lies. Sparrow, I think you're the bravest person I have ever met. I appreciate that. His caresses had long since ceased, and instead he rested his whole hand on top of mine. The weight of it was comforting, but I was able to sense his intentions. Is he trying to hold my hand? Thank you for answering my question. I'm sure you have some for me too. Go ahead, ask me anything you like. There we go, save. Ask him about his appearance, ask him about Amorous, ask him about his hobbies. Let's ask about his appearance. I started pondering what to ask him when his piercing eyes awaited my response. I only noticed how strange his appearance actually was at the very moment. Unnaturally pointy ears, long, elegant nails, sickly pale skin. And what devil did he have to worship to get such flawless hair? Or perhaps he was the devil himself, hiding his sharp, bloody teeth behind a sweet, charming smile. Oh my gosh, of course, it all makes sense now. I had no idea they were even real. Hey, Viktor? Are you a werewolf? I think he's closer to a vampire, bud. Werewolf? My dear, where did you get such a revolting impression? You honestly believe I'm one of those uncivilized, mangy, stupid mutts that howl at literally everything all the damn time. I'm more of a cat person, anyway. Well then, what are you? If you must know, I'm a vampire, an immortal creature of the night. I was right! Do not fear me. I have no ill intentions towards you. Even if I did, I wouldn't be able to bring any harm to you. You're just too cute for that. I think I understand. So, do you suck people's blood, get shirtless in the woods, and climb into the rooms of strangers? Get shirt... Oh, what Twilight nonsense is that? Oh, calling it out. I was like, get shirtless in the woods? The only thing that is true about that statement is I do drink blood. However, my kind no longer feels the need to hunt down humans. We have fast food now. Oh, really? May I ask what your favorite fast food place is, then? Probably the blood clinic from my old village. They gave me a cookie and a juice box last time. So tasty. That's nice. They gave him a cookie and a juice box? What do you mean the blood clinic? What? Can you eat cookies? Ask him about the cat. Here's one for a trip down memory lane. You simply must tell me how you were able to snag yourself such a darling like Amorous. Gosh, when was the first time I met that little thing? Since 6 months ago? A year? I can't imagine living life without her at this point. I do, however, remember the day I found her as if it was yesterday. It was a cold night like this, and it started showing signs of a dangerous blizzard. I had lived in the Alps for so long, I was able to craft myself a familiar path that I took any time I wanted to take a night stroll. One of the landmarks I often encountered was a river that I crossed over with the aid of stepping stones. However, that night was different to most. As I made my way over the almost freezing river, I kept hearing a soft noise. Meowing, but it sounded far from distressed. I indulged my curiosity and looked within the river, trying to find the source of the strange sounds I kept hearing, and that's when I saw her. A sweet black newborn kitten tied up in a plastic bag. No! Who still had her eyes closed. That's the animal abuse. Somebody... Oh, no. I'm glad he found her. Dang. That's just cruel. She was just the cutest thing. She was meowing so softly, and she was most probably seeking her mother. At the moment, all I saw was red. What kind of monster would abandon such a sweet little thing, especially when she needed them most? It made me sick to my stomach. But she seemed so content, meowing sweetly and playfully, twisting around in the bag. Such misfortune bestowed onto, yet she still seems to sing a tune of happiness. I couldn't just leave her there. I'd be no better than the pathetic excuse of a caretaker her last one was. So I took her home, and by some miracle, she survived. That day, I made the choice to call her my own, and I've never regretted it since. Good job, Viktor. I'm proud of you. Save that poor baby. She was all alone, just like me. But now, I won't let anyone hurt her. I love her far too much for that. That's a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing it with me, Viktor. Thank you for listening, my dear. Okay, let's see what his hobbies are, besides drinking blood and saving kitties. Living alone here must get pretty boring. I can't imagine finding much excitement in these mountains. Surely you must have some hobbies or passions that make you forget about the world for a little, right? Viktor's eyes suddenly sparkled with a bright twinkle. My inquiry had clearly caused it. Oh, Sparrow, you have made me happy, man, just with your most shallow of interests. Where do I even start? I believe poetry to be the highest form of entertainment, whether it be a dark reflection of the cruel repercussions of war or simple sonnet of adoration. There's something for everyone. Poetry? Of course he'd like poetry. Did you know that the earliest records of written poetry date back at around 2000 BC? It's true. It's believed to have originated from African hunter-gatherers who had a fondness for storytelling and tradition, but their tales only started becoming documented hundreds of years later. And despite what you've been led to believe, Shakespeare was actually more of a poet than a playwright. Isn't that so interesting? I've actually met the guy. He is kind of a jerk. Blah, blah, blah. I think I may have created a monster. I don't feel like losing my ear tonight just yet. Yep. This is what happens when, you let somebody go free reign on something they're very passionate about. They will talk because they're so happy that someone is willing to listen to them talk about something they're passionate about, something they love. And like, even if you're not interested in it, I think it's very polite to listen to them and let them get it out. Because yeah, I'm going off story for a minute, but nothing is more damaging than someone really being passionate and excited about something, trying to share it with you, and you tell them they're annoying and shut up. They will be quiet and they will not want to share anything with anyone ever again. So, please, if somebody wants to talk to you about something they're very clearly passionate about, be polite, okay? Be nice. Make the world a better place. You really know your poems. What would you say is your favorite type of poetry? What a cruel thing to ask. How can you expect me to just choose one? But if I had to choose one, most definitely romance. Call me an old soul, but there's nothing more flattering than being serenaded by a gracious lover with words they wrote straight from the heart. I've actually written a few myself. It really helped me understand myself and my feelings better. That's impressive. I'd love to hear one sometime. Really? Yeah, it would bring me nothing but joy. That is, unless they were destined from someone else. Were your poems directed at... Oh, this was us. I'm talking in this accent. Oh my gosh. That is, unless they were destined from someone else. Were your poems directed at anyone in particular, if I may ask? Oh, they were. Viktor? What? Oh. My apologies, my dear. I guess I just blinked out there for a moment. That's enough about poetry. Aww. I think that's about it for me tonight. Thank you for dinner, I guess? You said my room is right down the hall, right? I'll see you tomorrow morning then. Good night. Good night. And Sparrow, thank you for tonight. I mean that. Sweet dreams. I remember falling asleep almost immediately when I climbed in the warm silk sheets of the guest room bed. The woes of the day had become as distant as the memory of my village, and my frozen body finally gained some semblance of peace. Heaven knows it deserved it after all it's been through. But in the middle of the night, I woke to the sound of strong winds against my windows, the blizzard raging on. I couldn't fall back asleep no matter how hard I tried, and so I decided to get up and walk around the hallways to tire myself out. Perhaps visit Viktor's room to see if he too struggled to sleep. Do we even know where Viktor's room is the question? I'm positive that's the door to Viktor's room. I wonder if the blizzards woke him up too. Some part of me hopes it did. Look at me, acting like some lovesick teenager. I can't afford to waste time fawning over some rich, handsome man while my family could be dead. But, I mean, what else are we gonna do? We can't go out in the storm unless we want to die instantly, and then we'll be no help to our family. It's just, I haven't had the pleasure of talking with someone for so long. I guess I saw part of myself in him. It's quite poetic. Two lost souls who were in the wrong place at the wrong time end up woving their destinies in the fabric of love. I want to be the object of his love poems. Sounds like we're starting to fall. And deep down, I think he wants that too. Okay, are we the Yandere? Are we the Yandere? Should I be worried? We just met this person. We just met this person, like, not even a full day ago. Oh my god, it's the middle of the night. We surely go to his room to see if he's awake. Oh my god. Psst. Viktor, are you awake? Viktor, hello? He's not here. Strange. He's probably just roaming the hallways like me. I really shouldn't be in here without his permission. I'd better... Ow. Stone floors do not make for a cushy landing. I think I just tripped on something. There's a box that says destroy this. Destroy this? How ominous. Though I never thought I'd feel any sort of intimidation from a shoebox. I wonder what's inside. No, it's none of my business. It's going too far. Though, I'm sure one peek wouldn't hurt, right? Oh, God. Open it! We're too nosy for our own good. I bent down ever so slowly in order to examine the box. It must have been Viktor's, considering the destroy this warning was in his handwriting. How do we know it's his handwriting? I have so many questions. How do we know? We haven't seen anything else in his handwriting, have we? How would we know? Oh, and it was in his room, I guess. I mean, that's the giveaway. The box itself was unassuming, yet its contents were far more than what met the eye. I just wished I realized that before. The box contained 4 key objects. An envelope with a rose crest. A photo of Viktor with a mysterious woman. That must be who he wrote the poems for. I like the little butterflies on the side. That's cute. A hand-stitched teddy bear with a rose. fascinating yet particular combination of items. It's a poem. I wonder what it means. This point is... Okay. Okay, here we go. Translation. Good. The cruel devil of destiny appeared within the lens of my reality. A dutiful man of word he was, unscathed by dereliction. How my flower lost its color red from his promise, and how my world became bone-tired and weary. He sent many, dozens of mortals with whom they had blue and yellow, claiming to bring prosperity to my destroyed domain. They in return destroyed. Petals to thorns, horns to halos, all the wretched masquerades that could not seduce, all sent to the fiery pits of hell, wrapped in a cloth of red beauty. My fair rose may never grow again, but its thorns will shed. I was never much of a literature whiz. Why do people need to talk in such riddles? This may be a love poem since Viktor mentioned it's his favorite form of poetry. It's not a whole lot to go off of. Who is this woman? A friend of Viktor's? Or something more? There's a whole bunch of symbols in the photo's corners. I think it's a black swallowtail butterfly. We know our butterflies. I remember now. Those specific butterflies represent something. Death. Aw, so cute. All I had as a toy growing up was a wooden barrel. And a bad one at that. So many splinters. And look at his little rose collar bell. Such a little gentleman. Oh, and there's something attached to him. May our future be blessed with more memories. The key must open a door somewhere here in the Chateau. Who knows how long that may take to find? I went snooping, and I'm even more confused than where I started. Oh no, I hear footsteps. I can't let Viktor find me here. He'll throw me out in the blizzard for sure. I gotta find a place to hide. Under the bed with all the stuff you snooped, maybe? There, in the cupboard. Did you put the stuff back in the box? Did you put the stuff back in the box? Escape from your prison once more, I see. I should have burnt you a long time ago. Turn you into a speck of meaningless wood in a merciless fire, yet you're still here. Because, for as dull and habitual as you are, thousands of your kind roaming this planet, you are far from meaningless to me. It drives me to insanity, all of it. How can something so nightmarish be my dream? How can my best decision be my worst mistake all at once? My sweet Evelyn, why do you hurt me so? Did I do something wrong? Was I not worthy of your love? Why have you bestowed such misfortune upon me? Tell me, damn it! Please tell me why you hate me so much, and why I still love you even after all these years. Oh, we're about to sneeze! Don't sneeze. Don't sneeze! Damn this cupboard dust. Achoo! No. Well, I truly have gone mad, I presume. Oh, great. We should... I felt only a few measly seconds of relief when the sound of footsteps echoed once more, coming closer to my hiding spot. Was he aware that he was not alone in the room? I couldn't tell anymore. Well, apparently we sneezed loudly. I felt his soft breathing on the other side of the cupboard door. It was so quiet, it felt unnatural, like a predator lurking for its next meal. It knew the power it held over those weaker than it, and Viktor, he knew that. And he reveled in it. I am no longer that foolish boy I once was, and I'll never let my mistakes rule my life again. I'll be better than him. I want to make this up to you because, my darling... Hi? This time will be different. His gazing eyes soon vanished as I heard the heavy footsteps walking further and further away. The absence of his breathing until the door behind him suddenly closed. Oh! He looked in. Surely he saw us? Why did he just leave like that? I cautiously climbed out of the cupboard and waited for any deception or tricks to catch me red-handed. But it was only the sound of the wind against the windows that filled the room. Okay, now I know something seedy is going on here. I'm already caught up with one problem. I don't need another one. I should get to bed, but maybe I should take one of these items, just in case I feel like sticking my nose where it doesn't belong. Oh my god. We're taking the items. That's not the best move. I mean, the photo would probably be the smartest one. And the poem to decipher, but we're taking something cuddly. We're taking the teddy bear. What secrets can a cute little bear hold? A lot more than I bargained for, probably. I slept uneasily for the rest of the night, the feeling of vulnerability clouding every inch of my mind like a terrible headache. The feeling of being watched. And the actions that were to follow afterward made me wish I'd never awoken again. Morning came quicker than I anticipated, but it had a pleasant aura to it. The blizzard had finally retracted its pledge of war on the Alps, and the sun reappeared after being gone for several months. The morning wasn't the only thing sporting a smile and a skip in its step. Viktor was sitting down at the dining table across from where I was standing. When he noticed my presence, his face lit up like a fire in a whiteout, and he gestured me to sit down next to him. Ambrose was resting by his feet in a deep slumber. She looked so calm and peaceful, like the world couldn't lay a finger on it even if it tried. I miss that feeling. Good morning, my dear. I hope you had a good night's rest. Dream anything interesting? I can't let him know about the box. Or the item I took. Who knows what he'll do to me? Not that I can blame him. Don't worry, Sparrow. Just act natural. Nope, not a thing. Nothing interesting going on here. Why would you think that? You'd be wrong if you thought that, because there is nothing that is interesting. Oh my god. Yep, we're acting natural, of course. Nailed it. Good to know. I was just about to make breakfast. Would you like me to make you something? No, thank you. I'm not that hungry. I was not hungry for a dead, fully intact rabbit last night. I'm not hungry for a dead, fully intact rabbit today. Alright then. Your company enough makes my heart sing with glee. Tell me, my dear, what are your plans today? Leave? My hands started to shake and my mouth suddenly became dry. I was worried to tell him in case he'd have a bad reaction, but I just went for it as soon as he asked. I'm feeling much better. I think my body has recovered from the frostbite. That's wonderful. Yeah, I think it's time I head out and continue my mission over the Alps. Your hospitality has been nothing but amazing. I'd be dead if it wasn't for you. So, thank you. But it's time to go now. Viktor's pupils instantly turned to crimson red, a pierced gaze into my soul replacing his kind eyes. The grip on his mug tightened and I thought it was about to shatter into a million pieces. How unfortunate. Are you sure you're feeling better? What if the blizzard starts again? We can't have that. Maybe you should stay here a little longer, just to be sure. But stay for the night. Join me for dinner one last time, and tomorrow I'll bid you farewell. Uh-huh. I'm a little doubtful. Please. Okay. Splendid, you made me a happy man, Sparrow. I have a few things I must attend to, but I'll see you later. Stay out of trouble, my dear. What the frick are we gonna eat? I'm sure we're very hungry. Before I could mutter any response, he gracefully stood from his chair with the now awake Amorous trailing trailing him into the kitchen. Now that he was off doing his own tasks, I thought I'd be able I thought it'd be my cue to do the same. It was time to find out what secrets hid behind a cute bear's face. Are we gonna destroy the teddy bear? I still can't get over how adorable this little guy is. I'm guessing you don't have a name yet. I'll call you Roosevelt. Aw, I get it, Rose. Get it? Because you got a rose? I suddenly feel like he's judging me. I was poor growing up, and our village... Oh, excuse me, I had to yawn. I was poor growing up, and our village was pretty isolated. What I wouldn't have done to get a toy like this. I would have been the happiest child. Despite my background, it was such a sweet and magical time, one that went by far too quickly. I don't think I'll ever be as happy as I once was, when the only thing I had to worry about was passing the next school test or making time to play with my friends. I think that's enough regretting an existential crisis for one day. Now back to you, Roosevelt. He looks like hand-stitched. Not the type of toy where there are thousands like it, produced from some factory. Did Viktor make this? It certainly seems like something he'd do. I wonder if you made it for anyone particular. A child, perhaps. Or the lady in the picture. But I hadn't seen anyone else since I got in here. Strange. Wait, I recognize that rose on his ribbon. It's the handles of the mysterious door I saw on the first day I was here. It has to mean something, right? Well, there's one way to find out. It took me the majority of the day to find the door again with all the tricks and dead ends of the endless hallways, but I was eventually able to spot the extravagant door handles. The door was now more visible in the sunlight that peeked through the windows, and I was able to truly appreciate its details. How the black decorations on the wooden door created a stunning environment of leaves and branches, like a forgotten garden. How the stone wall surrounded the door carved an elaborate entrance, making sure that it was gazed upon. And of course, its rosy handles that perfectly matched the one on Roosevelt. For a moment, I was unsure what to do. The door was still locked to my knowledge, and I knew it would take ages to break the lock. The key? The key? That was when I suddenly remembered what else I had found in Viktor's room. I still don't know who this note is addressed to, and if Viktor had put in so much effort into this toy, why was he ashamed of showing it off to me? He doesn't seem like the type of person who'd shy away from a little bragging. Because it was for someone else. Oh my god, how dense are we? Unless it represented something he didn't want to brag about. Something that brought up too many bad memories. Well, now I feel bad. I've already broken so many boundaries, there's no turning back now. With a slight turn of the key and a few moments of prying the heavy door, I opened and stepped inside the room. It was so dark I could barely see what was in front of me, and there was a foul stench that traveled around the room. Dust and dirt accompanied the aroma in the air, and I coughed violently. Whatever this room held, it was evidence that it hadn't been visited for years. Where's the light? There's got to be something somewhere that will help me see better. Ah, I think I see a chandelier. I'll find a candle and set it alight. A nursery? Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I was half expecting, like, the body of his dead lover or something in here, but not a nursery. After a few minutes of finding a source of light, the room slowly but surely became visible, until I could see it as clear as day. It was a baby room. There's no denying that, but it wasn't just any old baby room. It was one painted with a bright, cheery golden aura that matched elegantly with the future. There were toys everywhere, ranging from soft stuffed animals to wooden carriages and ducks. On either side of the room stood a grand crib laced with comfortable mattresses and warm blankets. Despite the spiderweb and dust that invaded every corner of the room still looked somewhat brand new, like it's been frozen in time, waiting to fulfill its purpose. What a gorgeous infant room. One fit for royalty. But why would Viktor have it in the first place? I haven't seen anyone else since I first arrived here. Impressed? I designed it myself. I jumped at the sound of another's voice in the quiet room. Viktor stood by the entrance of the room, a smug smile on his face. There was a certain excitement in his eyes, as if he'd been waiting for this moment for centuries. Viktor, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to invade your private spaces. Darling, calm down. I'm not mad. Far from it, actually. Someone should be making use of this room anyway. Heaven knows I haven't. The children, where are they? Simple. They never came. The man started making his way in my direction, but he was walking right past me and grabbed lightly onto one of the cribs. An early thrill in his face was gone. All earlier thrill in his face was gone. He still retained a smile, but there was something off about it, like he was wearing a mask. The idea of it used to puzzle me. What idea? Children. Starting a family. The kind of thing everyone in my old village would do when they became of age. They would find a special someone, find a cozy home on the prairie, have a bunch of kids, and then grow old together. But I never thought that it could be me. I didn't grow up with a family. I was pretty much alone most of my life. And I could do all these amazing things. I was fast, strong, clever, and handsome. Everyone in my village adored me. They all looked up to me. I even found a wonderful woman to call my true love. She would have helped me complete that dream. We would have been so happy together. We planned our future together as fate told us to. We created this room together, made all these toys too. I finally found out what all the fuss was about. I wanted children more than anything. Dozens if I could. And I would have loved each and every one of them. I would have moved mountains and traveled to the hells and back just to see them smile. Finally, the family I'd longed for so long would finally arrive. I was ready. I was prepared. I was so proud of calling myself a father. But Evelyn, my dear Evelyn, she got sick and that was it. She never even got to see the room in all of its final glory. I was gonna give her that teddy bear in your head? I'm sure that means hand. Present her with the key and show her this place. But I was too late. And now it's just another empty room sitting inside this empty house within an empty life. Viktor, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. Here, cuddle with Roosevelt. He'll make you feel better. Oh no. I don't think it will make him feel better. You took the teddy bear that he made and broke into this room. I mean, he's not mad at us, but you're just like, oh, here, cuddle the teddy bear I stole from you. It'll make you feel better. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Who? The teddy bear you were talking about. I named him Roosevelt. I hope that's okay. Viktor stared at me with his teary eyes stunned. He was quiet for a long time, and I was starting to worry that I had said or done something wrong. But eventually he smiled at me as if he was proud of me, as if I had confirmed something in his mind and he was happy with the results. He reached out his hand and I expected him to take the bear from me, but instead he yanked me on my wrist and pulled me into a deep kiss. Alrighty then, we offered you the bear. He wrapped me in his arms. He wrapped his arms around my body and pulled me closer and closer to him, as if he never wanted to let me go. His kisses were passionate and patient, like you expect from a romantic poet. His hands slid down to my hips aggressively, and he started getting a little too excited for my comfort. I pushed him back, releasing the embrace of our lips. Viktor, what are you doing? You don't just kiss someone without asking first. I'm sorry, my dear. I don't know what got over me. You just reminded me so much of her. Of Evelyn. I understand, but I think you're feeling a little sorry for yourself and just threw yourself at the nearest person. I don't want to take advantage of you. I think I need to go. It's about time I continue my journey over the Alps. Fear struck Viktor's face and he grabbed my wrist again, this time not pulling me into another kiss, even if it looked like he really wanted to. Please forgive me for making you uncomfortable, Sparrow, but you can't leave. What if you're still recovering from frostbite? It's not safe out there. Why don't you just stay here? With me? We obviously enjoy each other's company. I'm sure Amaris would love to have someone else to play with. I can't, Viktor. I need to find help for my village. My people are waiting for me back home. Screw them! Who in their right mind would send someone as wonderful as you on a perilous mission where they aren't likely to return home alive? You're disposable to them, but not to me. I can treat you better than they ever could. No longer will you have to live a hard life traveling over these unforgiving mountains for a village that never cared about you. Not while I'm around. But my family. We'll start a new family. Just imagine it, little ones running around these empty hallways, reading and cuddling with them every night, sitting by the fire while we watched them play with Amaris. It'll be a dream come true, don't you think so? Please, my darling, grant me this wish and tell me you feel the same. He really went 0 to 60, didn't he? Oh my god. Okay, what says if I don't? No, Viktor. I have to go, I'm sorry. Sparrow, wait. I ran out of the house as fast as I could. I couldn't bear any more sweet talk or sorrowful begs from Viktor any longer. It was all just such a blur. All I remember was grabbing my bag and heading out to the main door, which I was somehow able to remember. I didn't even bid Amaris farewell with a final pet to the head. I ran out of the house and trudged in the snow, forcing my way into the woods. I turned back for a split second. Viktor's eyes locked onto mine. He only stood by the door, an unreadable expression on his face, Amaris curling around his leg with a content smile. Was he angry? Devastated? I wouldn't know from his blank face, but his eyes. They always give something away with him, and I didn't want to stick around long enough to see what that meant. After many more months of traveling, I was eventually able to contact the nearest village and return home. We had to walk for months. I was thrilled to see all my loved ones after all that time, and life soon returned to normal. However, every night before I go to sleep, I feel a presence, as if someone is watching me, stalking my every movement. I told others, but they just shrugged it off of me being paranoid about traveling alone over the Alps. But I knew who it was, and every night I felt that I would be snatched up and taken away once again from my village, forever remaining in the clutches of a lover who couldn't let me go. Ending 1, Unwanted Savior. Oh, that was pretty cool. Alright, okay, this definitely would lead to, like, another ending. I do feel the same. Oh, I wonder how many endings there are. I'm surprised, well, I was gonna say I'm surprised he let us go, but he did let us go. He's biding his time. He's gonna get us. I'm gonna get you. Okay, this is if we agree to stay and, I guess, give him children. Viktor, I feel the same. You do? Yes. I want to help you fulfill the dream you could never before. In some strange ways, I want that too. Viktor swept me into a tight hug. I could feel a few of his tears run down my neck, but he remained silent in our embrace. Thank you, was all he whispered in that moment. After a little while, he kissed me once again, and his hands were placed back onto my hips. He gave me a seductive look, hunger in his eyes, and he pushed me to the floor with him on top of me. He's not wasting any time, is he? I love you, my dear sparrow. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And I want to make a baby with you. Look at him blush. Yeah, I told you, he ain't wasting no time. He wants that baby now. Oh. Right now. Ending 2. Picture perfect peace. Yeah, well, he want to make that baby right now. Instant. Okay, there's 2 endings. Okay, what would happen if we took the photo? What secrets can an old photo hold? A lot more than I bargained for. Okay. Okay, this is all the same. Okay, here we go. There must be clues in this picture that can lead me to something. I'll take anything at this point. And I guess there's the butterfly, but I scoured the walls for any butterfly art pieces and have come up short. Viktor is a poetic man, however. Maybe I shouldn't be looking at it as a butterfly. I should be looking at it for what it represents. Alright, let's see. Butterfly is a black swallowtail. It is unique to the others of its kind for having striking dark wings. They're often believed to be a sign of death. So I think our mystery lady here is no longer a subject of life's kingdom. Despite this, they are often believed to be a sign of new beginnings. The beginnings of a lie sprouted from the end of another. That must help me, right? As I wallowed in my shallow assumptions and head-splitting thinking, I looked up to find a tall, beautiful rose in a large gray pot standing opposite of me. He was surrounded by shriveled-up rose petals who, I assumed, once flourished like the one before me, red and beautiful, now gray and gone. Wait, that's it. Death and life are represented by the black swallowtail. Those flowers have something to do with the meaning of the photo, I'm sure of it. There must be something behind that, then? To my delight, my thoughts were proven correct. Behind the large pot was an unassuming door that was designed to look like the walls, a thin golden knob piercing from the dark wall. With a steady hand and a heartbeat louder than thunder, I gently turned the knob and forced the doors open. A long, dark hallway stood before me, and I started walking down it. Hallways with the hallways. I can barely see anything. I should be used to blindly stumbling around by now, though. As I made my way through the hallway, I spotted a faint light ahead in the distance. It was bright and welcoming to my time in the dark, but I knew it to be wary. Who knew what lay ahead of me? Well, I think we found her. This is a crypt. Eventually, I reached a small room adorned with stone walls and a floor. There were no windows, only stuffy air and darkly lit candles. There was only one item in the room, a stone coffin with a butterfly motify. Moffat? I knew I needed answers, but the thought of potentially seeing a dead body made my blood run cold. But as I swung the coffin door opening, expecting to find the corpse of the woman in the photo, all I could before me were a few abandoned spider webs. What? I don't understand. Isn't this the room the photo leads to? Aren't you the curious one? Ah! I never fancied you the detective type, my dear. Very impressive. What did you do with the body? I see you found Evelyn's tomb. I actually built this place just for her, with my own 2 hands. I wanted us to be able to rest for eternity here together. Plus, she wanted to be buried in the ground. A kindred spirit she was. Evelyn? The woman in the photo, darling. A fair beauty, isn't she? Just like you. I'm sick of you speaking in riddles. Tell me what's going on right now. I coolly honored her wishes, though, and buried her outside in the ground. Excuse me. I'll answer that concern. But first, let me tell you a story. I just said... Hush, sweetheart. We'll get to that in a moment. Once upon a time, in a quiet French village, at the far edge of the Alps lived a young boy. The boy was remarkable. He did remarkable things. He could sense the heartbeat of a wolf miles away to help men with their hunts. He was fast, agile, and strong as can be, being able to lift things twice his own weight, a great help to the farmers. He was even handsome and charming, winning the hearts of anyone who laid their eyes on him. His life was that of perfection. But no matter what he did, no matter how many people he knew, he was all alone. No one to come home to after a long, stressful day. No one to enjoy a pleasant dinner with. And no one to hold at night when it got too cold. The only problem his supernatural abilities couldn't fix was the one that ruined everything. But then, he met a girl. A sweet and wonderful girl. A girl like no other. My Evelyn. My heart. My shining star in a pitiless sky of darkness. They made a home for themselves with a dream of starting a family so they could never be alone again. His life will finally be perfect. But then, that girl, that sweet and wonderful girl, she was no more. And that was the beginning of the end. The end of everything. And now she's back, and I won't let the world ever take her away from me ever again. Oh, my sweet Evelyn. It's been so many years, but you finally returned to me. What? I know who you are. I knew it from the moment I saw you out in the blizzard that fateful day. You're my beloved Evelyn, reincarnated. It's the only reason to explain why you look so much like her. It was all meant to be. I'm sorry, Viktor, but I'm not her. I'm Sparrow. No, you're Evelyn in a new form. I know it with every fiber of my being. Fate has brought you back to me. Oh, my darling, I missed you so much. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you again. I flinched at his attempt for a hug and backed away slowly. Although I could see the painful expression across his face, I couldn't help but feel anger to his words. You're delusional! I've already told you I'm not that sweet and wonderful girl from your little story. I'll never be that girl. Evelyn is gone forever. You have to accept that. I'm sorry. Viktor? Viktor, are you... If you can't remember, then I guess I'll just have to make you remember. Viktor suddenly lunged at me with his fangs bared. Fear, anger, depression, and more were contorted together on his face. Perhaps it was because I was already on edge, but I was somehow able to dodge out of the way in time, and I raced down the hallway, entering through without a single acknowledgement of the fact that I couldn't see anything. What do? I have to get out of here. Which way should I go? Damn it, they all look the same. What am I going to do? What am I going to... Ouch. I ran my hip into an unexpected decorative table, and the tall, burning candle that had stood on it fell into the ground with a sudden crash. It caressed the nearby carpet for only a second before it started a burning light. Well, we burning down your house, Viktor. Burning down the house. Oh, wow. The fire started getting out of hand and it spread fast throughout the hallway. It was only a matter of time before I became one with the flames. Before I could react by either running away or deciding to stop the fire myself, I suddenly felt a strong grip on my neck, yanking me forward. Viktor, what are you... Shut up! You think I wanted this? To have you come to me by force? To have the one I love fear the very mention of my name? I've been alone so long. I never thought my heart could beat again. Even if you're not Evelyn, even if you'll never be her, I can't help but picture a future with you. One where the sad, empty house could be filled with music, laughter, and love once again. It can burn down for all I care. Burn down with all my belongings of priceless paintings and expensive luxuries. But as long as I have you, I'll never have to wonder if my heart is still beating. Oh, that looks quite creepy. The flames behind you while you're grinning and blushing like that. I love you, Sparrow. I want you to be happy. I truly do. And the only way to do that is to allow you to see Evelyn. So why don't you do me a favor and say hi to her for me? What do you mean? Hey, what are... Ah! I released Viktor's now softened grip on my neck and kicked him backwards into the raging fire before us. His shrill screams of anguish filled the silent hallways until eventually they became silent once more. Oh man! We kicked him into the fire! It's like, go say hi to Evelyn for me. The once powerful man with a charming smile and kind eyes now laid before me a measly pile of ash and remains on of burnt flesh. Rest in peace, Viktor. I mean that. I finally found the exit of the burning chateau and walked outside what felt like the first time in weeks. The cold yet refreshing wind blew into my face and I inhaled the fresh air until I heard the familiar sounds of a friend. Meow! Oh, the kitty got out! Amaris, thank goodness you're unharmed. It's not safe here anymore. We should get going before the blizzard starts up again. Meow? I'm sorry, Amaris, but Viktor won't be joining us. Let's go. Amaris, come on. You're not seriously gonna stay here. There's nothing left for you here. We have to go now. Pick up the cat and take it with you. If that's what you want, I can't stop you. Be good for me, precious. Meow. With a final pet to her head, I start making my way over the fierce Alps to find help for my village. I traveled further and further away from the burning remains of the chateau until the only part that could be seen was in my memories. I hope the cat can find food. True ending! True ending! Thanks for playing. True ending! Woo! Murdering Viktor was the true ending. Oh, poor kitty, though. Oh, the kitty. Yeah, we straight up murdered Viktor, and I'm worried about the cat. Oh, that was pretty smooth, though. The only way you're gonna feel better is to see her again. Say hi to her. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, we've gotten 3 endings. I don't know how many endings they are, but we need to take the poem this time. I was never one for poetry. Metaphors and similes be damned. I may not know Viktor all that well, but he seems like a man who would make the simplest of tasks into a string of nonsense. The poem only serves my assumptions correct. It references a rose at least twice. That must mean something, right? Roses, roses, roses. Wait, the rose garden. I must go there at once. It's not much of a garden at the moment. Now what? The poem has something to do with roses, and the garden has roses. But what about the roses? What are they trying to tell me? There's a possibility I may be wrong, though. This garden just seems so unassuming. Beautiful. Kind, even. Why would it want to harbor any dark secrets? But looks can be deceiving. So this would make the perfect place to hide worms in fresh soil. This is a rose I pricked myself on earlier. When did we prick our finger on a rose? I don't remember. The blood is still on it, dried by now. Focus, Sparrow. Think, what am I missing? Meow. Amaris, I thought you were with Viktor. What are you doing here? Meow, meow, meow. I can't play with you right now, precious. I'm trying to figure out something here. Meow. I'll be with you now. Please just sit for a moment. Meow, 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 meow. Amaris, pipe down or I'll... Hello? Being broken from my intrusive thoughts made me realize what the cat was showing. She was circling a small yet bright rose bed with blood-red flowers within. The poem words rung in my head, and I quietly went through all the verses until I reached the one I needed. All sent at the pits of hell, wrapped in a cloth of red beauty. He was talking about a rose bed. That's where all the answers lie. I can see it now. I lightly stroked Amaris's back as a sign of appreciation for her help, and bent down to the level of the rose bed. Whatever I was trying to find was underneath its deceitful decorations. Oh, it's gonna be the body. But then I noticed the roses, and my blood ran cold. The blood that could sense that it had already made contact with the abominable creations. Thorn roses. I hesitated for a moment, but I knew what I had to do. I wanted to find the logic. If I wanted to find the light, I had to do it. A second later, I grabbed the roses and pulled them from the ground in order to make my way to the center of the rose bed. We literally just show up and destroy this man's garden. The thorns crashed into my icy and thin skin, and I finally realized what true pain felt like. The feeling of helplessness and defeat that scoured every inch of my fragile human body. The sting of tears that filled my eyes and fell down my cheeks. I wanted to stop. I needed to stop, but I couldn't. Not after the idea I could finally find answers, find hope. I never got that luxury after the decay of the village, the decay of my mind. Nothing was going to stop me from receiving the fruits of my unappreciated labor. That was when I saw it. What is that? Something sticking out of the ground. I must dig it out at once. Something my innocent eyes were never meant to behold. Yep. Knew it. Is that what I think it is? No, it can't be. Viktor, he would never... Was being the charming and romantic poet all a facade? Looks really can be deceiving. Wait. I almost forgot he's a vampire. He'll smell me a mile away if my blood is still exposed like this. Well, the way he described how good his hearing is, he knows exactly what you're doing. I need to clean it up at once. Get out of this place as soon as possible. The remainder of the day, I tried to seize an opportunity to escape, but it was just never the right time. Eventually, night fell, and I had to make my way to the dining room before Viktor could unravel my plans. It was a gentle night with a light snow, and I knew it would be perfect weather to run away in. Viktor was in the kitchen, probably cooking up another monstrosity, and I sat down at the table, patiently waiting for him. After a moment or two, he walked out and saw me. His eyes lit up as though he hadn't seen me in years, and he excitedly sat down next to me, a little too close for comfort. Sparrow, I'm so happy to see you. I hope you had a restful day. It was a day, that's for sure. I've also been quite busy today. So much that I haven't gone to ask you something. Were you in my room at any point of the day? Whoa, what? Why are you asking? It's alright if you did. This place is as much yours as it is mine. I just seem to have misplaced one of my poems, and I was wondering if maybe you've seen it lying around somewhere. I wasn't sure if he was onto me or completely oblivious to the situation. Either way, I knew I had to come clean. Actually, Viktor, I was the one who took it. I'm sorry. I should have asked, but it was just such a nice poem that I wanted to read it over and over again. Really? You liked it? Well, that's good to hear. I'm flattered. Thank you, dear. You're welcome, I guess. I wanted to ask, though, the poem was putting emphasis on the rose bed in the garden, and I found some skeletons? I wouldn't assume they're real, of course. That would be preposterous. I was just wondering if there were Halloween decorations, or maybe even... Nope, they're real. He's like, yeah, they're real. Oh... so why do you have real skeletons in your garden? They make for good fertilizer. I'm kidding! They're nobodies, just some random people that seek refuge from the blizzards, that's all. Haha, kidding? I don't think he's kidding. I guess not. Oh, I see the problem. Don't worry, my dear. I would never harm you in 100 years. And I am 100. You're nothing like them. They were posers, fakes. They take one look at handsome stranger and want to bed him. So the people you killed actually wanted to be with you and were flirting with you and you killed them. Okay. Like I'd ever want to do that with them. Have they no shame? There's only one person I would ever let touch my heart. And my body. And they're right beside. Huh? Sparrow, we've only known each other for a few days. But I already feel like we were meant for each other. Every dream, every fantasy, every morning and every night. I want you there with me. Oh, Viktor, I love you. I want to make you happy. Be the reason for your smiles, your love, and your pleasure. I want to spend the rest of eternity with you, my darling. Please, bless me with your marvelous voice and tell me your answer. Okay, come on. Save. Okay, let's reject. Are you serious right now? I would never be with you. Viktor's eyes grew larger and he moved away from me ever so slightly. I had never seen a man more shattered than a fallen icicle. What? You murdered innocent people! And for the most foolish reason, too. I'd be ashamed to be with someone that cruel and that stupid. No, don't you see, my dear? Those people were standing in the way of you being in my arms again. I had to get rid of them. I would kill anything and everyone for you. Because I love you. I did all this for us. There is no us. I barely even know you. I don't understand why you're doing this. After everything I've done for us to be together again. Why are you pushing me away? Why won't you just let me love you, Evelyn? You're insane. I'm getting my stuff and I'm leaving. And just leave me alone. In that moment, I was just fire and rage bound by flesh. Never have I been so furious, heartbroken, and terrified all at once. And right as I was about to storm out of the room, I took a peek at Viktor's distraught face. It was painted with pure agony as if he was about to drop dead. But there was something else. Something inhumane and animalistic. Who knew what dark thoughts were running around in his head? And unfortunately, I would soon find out. Dun dun dun! I gathered everything I could find that was mine and threw it all in my trusty bag. I considered jumping out the window and risking a long fall down to the ground, but I knew even snow couldn't prevent me from snapping my body in two like a twig. Besides, I still wanted to bid Viktor farewell. Despite finding out who he really was, he still helped me recover from my frostbite wounds and offered me a warm place to stay. It was the least I could do. Viktor? Viktor, are you here? Hello? Where is he? I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't want to talk to me. Well, if I can't say goodbye to him, then at least I can say goodbye to Amorous. Amorous, here, kitty kitty. Psst, psst. Amorous. Amorous. No. Is Amorous dead? He wouldn't. No. Amorous. No. Amorous, or what was left of her, laid on the stone floor. Her body was covered in cold blood that stood bright against her dark coat. Her eyes were glassy and open, and for the very first time ever she looked scared, betrayed, heartbroken. All of her welcoming meows and friendly nuzzles were replaced by dark silence. Fate had played a wicked irony on her. The creature who started its life with shut eyes and happy smiles ended in frightened scowls and dead eyes. Amorous! Please tell me you're okay. Please no. Why? Who could have done this to you? There's no use crying over spilt milk, darling. You bastard! You bastard! I don't mind you killing people, okay? We play a lot of Yanderes on this channel, okay? I don't mind you killing other people, okay? It happens. I don't mind you being a creep, okay? I draw the freaking line at harming a cat. You freaking bastard! No! Why? Ugh. You're on my bad list now, Viktor. No, that cat did nothing. She trusted you. She loved you. You were like her dad. She was a good girl. Why did you do this just because you were mad at us? You want to hurt us? You bring it on. But you don't touch that cat, but you already freaking killed her. You are a horrible, horrible vampire. Well, spilt blood in this instant. Viktor. How could you? How could you do this to her? She loved you. All she ever wanted was a home, a family. What could she have possibly done to deserve this? Viktor's mocking smile faded, and it was replaced with an insane gaze. It took him a moment, but he eventually answered the question with a spine-tingling apathy. She was a waste of space, a temporary solution to an otherwise permanent problem. She wanted a family, but so did I. The arrangement was one that benefited both of us, but now I no longer have a use for her. Now that I have you, didn't you hear me the first time? I would kill anything for you, my beloved. The unholy beast before me stalked towards me, the knife in his hand catching my attention, covered with Amorous's blood. He wasn't going to kill me, I knew that, and so did he. But I couldn't let him get away with this. The only thing to stop him from getting what he wanted is to destroy what he wants, and that was me. As soon as he was in appropriate proximity, I grabbed his wrist and twisted it, which forced a yelp of pain from him, and he dropped the knife. There was no time to spare. I grabbed the knife, brought it to my neck, and I can't remember. All I saw in my last breath was a river of crimson sprouting from my neck, and Viktor, losing all that was left of his sanity, yelling at me to stop. Maybe in another life things would have worked out differently. Maybe we could have had a remarkable love story. One only like the ones in fairy tales. Sharing dinner with friends and family. having amorous lie at our feet as we sit beside the calming fire and spend eternity in a lovely simpleness. But not in this one. Fate decided it, so. Ending 4, Faithful. We got the true ending, we got ending 1 and 2 and 4. Why did you kill that sweet cat? Oh my god, I don't like you anymore, Viktor. Ugh. Bastard. We're going to accept this time. Sure. Really? Oh, thank you, thank you. You have no idea what this means to me. I'm gonna give you the best life, just you wait. You know what? This calls for a celebration. I'll make a deer for dinner tonight. Please don't. With his large grin that showed off his deadly fangs, he threw himself onto me and pulled me into a tight but loving embrace. His breath was warm against my neck and all tension faded. My Evelyn, our dream can finally be fulfilled. We'll never be alone again. Ending 3, Lover's Limit. Okay, I think that may be all the endings. That was 5 endings so far. What happens if we don't open the box? Oh, but I really want to. Okay, you don't have any other choice. We have to be a snoop. Okay. Let's see. Preference. Load. I think we have all the options now, because, let's see. Okay, what happens if we follow her? Hey, wait up. Oh my, that little thing is quite fast. Where did she get to? Oh, wow. Okay, within the center of the outside courtyard rests a beautiful rose garden. Its brilliant red colors and delectable aroma flooded my senses, all memory of my previous mission fading away. There was something so charming yet secretive about the garden. Like it had many stories it wanted to tell me, and I wanted to hear every single one. I don't know what got over me, but I felt the sudden urge to pick one of the roses, and I slowly walked closer. Reaching down cautiously, the flowers intertwined with the strong stem of the rose nearby until the familiar feeling of pain had returned to my fingers. Ouch! Damn it, Thorns! Crimson escaped from the skin of my fingers, and I scrambled, trying to find something to stop the bleeding. That is where, that came from, because whenever we went out to the rose garden, it's like, there's the rose that we pricked our finger on, so that's why, if we would have followed the cat, okay. Little did I know that the simple act of picking a flower would change my life. Forever. It's quiet. Too quiet. If there's anything that's being out in the wild for the last few months have taught me, is that when it's quiet, there's something out there that doesn't want to be seen. And if something doesn't want to be seen, it's hiding from a predator. Or is the predator. Ah, over there in the bushes. What a horrendous creatures will I find here? Meow. Oh, it's just you, precious. A little hunter you are, I see. It's freezing. Let's get back inside. Ah! Okay, and then we walk into him. We just met him outside instead. Okay. I see that you were admiring my roses. They are quite a sight, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Who are you? Okay. It looks like we have reached all the endings. So it was 4 endings plus the true ending. Okay. It's pretty cool that we can... Okay. Preference... Wait, no. Yeah. Main menu. Ta-da! Okay. Whew, that game was longer than I thought it would be, so I hope you guys enjoy this extra long episode. It was alright. I liked it. The only thing I don't like is poor Amaris. Oh my god, the poor baby. She didn't deserve that. And we should have took her with us in the true ending, okay? What was she gonna eat there by herself? I mean, I know cats can hunt, but still. Little baby, little 6-month-old baby. Or a year-old. Besides poor Amaris in that one part, Viktor is pretty cool. I do see the Yandere-ness because he sees us as his former girlfriend, and he's wants us to stay with him forever, and he's desperate to that point. So it was all right. I'm still upset about the cat. If the cat didn't die, I would say this was a great game. Okay. I have a thing about cats, but it was beautiful. Like, the backgrounds are beautiful. He was beautiful. The word, it was great. I like how it was descriptive, and there's some like little comedy bits like wrote in there with the way the MC talked, and yeah, I liked it. It did have several different paths. It kind of all pieced together the story. So overall, it was a good game. And I'm going to leave a link down below, as always, so you guys can go check it out for yourself. Maybe find something I missed. Or, give the devs some love. I know they worked very hard on it, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more games from them in the future. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!